Good morning, my dear children. Okay, I am B. Ramesh, JL Physics, AP Social Professional Junior College, Pathapatnam. Okay, in physics, already 3 chapters completed. Today, we are going to introduce the 4th chapter. The 4th chapter is electric charges and fields. Okay, dear students, the branch of physics in which the electric charges are studied is known as electricity. There are two sub branches of electricity. That is, one is electrostatics and second one is electrodynamics. Electrostatics means it is the branch of physics which we study the charges at rest, whereas the electrodynamics which we study the charges in motion. Okay, once again, electrostatics means charges at rest and electrodynamics means charges in motion. Today we are going to know the charges in rest. That means what is meant by charge, types of charges and properties of charges and quantization of charges, the law of conservation of charge. Okay, first of all, what is meant by charge? That means electric charge. So, electric charge is the property associated with a particle which is able to produce the electric and magnetic effects. Once again, my dear students, electric charge means it is a property. What is that? It is a property associated with a particle which is able to produce electric and magnetic effects, that you mind it. So it is a scalar quantity. Okay, and its SI unit is Coulomb. Okay. Now, how many types of charges are there? Okay, charges are two types, that is positive charge and negative charge. What is called positive charge? Positive charge means when a body loses electrons, is said to acquire positive charge. The mass of a body somewhat decreases when it is positively charged. That means here, when a body is positively charged means its mass is decreased. Suppose, for example, if you take a glass rod, if you rub the glass rod with a that means silk, what happened? The glass rod gets positively charged. Okay. Similarly, if you take another glass rod, what is having a positive charge, then if you bring these two rods, what we can observe? You can observe both are repel. Okay. Similarly, what is called negative charge? When a body gains electrons, so losses of electrons is positive charge, gaining of electrons is negative charge. When a body gains electrons is said to be acquire a negative charge. Okay. When a negative charge is given to a body, then what happened? Its mass increases. Whereas in positive charge, mass decreases. In negative charge, mass increases. Suppose if you take an ebonite rod which is rubbed with fur cloth, what happens? It gets negatively charged. Similarly, if you bring both negative charges, what happened? Repels. So, here we can learn the properties of charges. What we observed, the either positive or negative, when both like charges repel each other. Like charges repel each other. So, unlike charges attract each other. Suppose if you bring a positive charge to negative charge, what happened? It attracts. Okay. A charged body attracts other uncharged particles, that you have to mind it. Okay. So the total charge of an isolated physical system is always conserved. That you mind it, the point. The total charge of isolated physical system is always conserved. Suppose negative charge plus minus q, positive charge plus q. Okay, plus q plus minus q. What happened? 0. That means the net charge on a neutral body is 0, and it is equal to the sum of positive and negative charges. My dear students, here you can, one thing you have to observe, that charge cannot exist without mass, though mass can exist without charge. That you mind it. Okay. So we learned what is charge and types of charges and properties of charge. Then what is meant by quantization of charge? Quantization charge means the minimum charge that can be transferred from one body to other is equal to the charge of the electron. So the charge, we can say that E is equal to 1.602 into 10 to the power minus 19 coulombs. A charge always exists an integral multiple of a charge of electron. That is the definition of quantization of a charge. A charge always exists an integral multiple of charge of electron. We can write Q is equal to Ne. Therefore, here we can say the charge is said to be quantized. Quantized. That is the quantization charge. That means a charge always exists in integral multiple of a charge of electron. Q is equal to Ne. You can write N is equal to Q by E. You can write E is equal to Q by N. Okay. Now, what is the Coulombs inverse square law? We know already, you learnt in your earlier classes about the Coulombs inverse law. That is, what is the statement? Force between two charges is proportional to the product of charges and inversely proportional to the square of the distance between them. Okay, the force acts along the straight line joining the two charges. Let us consider two charges Q1 and Q2 be separated by a distance R. Okay. Now, according to the law, what happened? Force between two charges is proportional to the product of charges. So we can write F is proportional to Q1, Q2. And similarly, the force between two charges inversely proportional to the square of the distance between them. So we can write F is proportional to 1 by R square. So from both these two, we can write F is proportional to Q1, Q2 by R square. So F is equal to, we can write 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught Q1 by Q2 R square. Where what 4 pi by epsilon naught, 1 by 4 pi by epsilon naught is equal to, we can write 9 into 10 to the power of 9 Newton meter square per Coulomb square. Here epsilon naught is permittivity of a free space or vacuum. That is also, we know the value epsilon naught is equal to 8.85 into 10 to the power of minus 12 Coulomb square by Newton meter square, or we can write farads also. So suppose in a medium, that is epsilon, F is equal to 1 by 4 pi epsilon Q1 by Q2 by R square, we can write. Epsilon naught is vacuum, epsilon is medium. That you mind, permittivity in vacuum and permittivity in medium, we can write. Okay, you will learn the methods of the charging in the next class. Okay, my dear students, today what we learned? We learned just only what is meant by charges and how many types of charges and what are the properties of the charges and what is the quantization of the charge and what is the Coulomb's inverse square law. That okay. Thank you one and all.